Good morning, good morning. It says I am live. All right, guys. So unfortunately, my handheld stick thingy that holds the phone is battery is down, so I got to hold it with my hand. So have you found yourself questioning friendships because of differing beliefs? Have you been called out or shamed, for displaying your thoughts recently? What can we do to maintain friendships with those that we generally we don't agree with during this time? So speaking your truth is liberating, and it's also a form of ego suicide, and we'll get into what that means here in just a second. So during these times of really intense controversy, hello. During these times of really intense controversy, where deeply held beliefs or ways of being are being questioned and dismantled, we are faced with the choice of supporting differing beliefs or disengaging. And sometimes this means terminating friendships, sometimes it means enduring anger from others directed at us, or enduring our own anger directed at others. And so, Henry Wadsworth Longfellow says, the bravest things are the tenderest, the loving are the daring. Welcome to Mentor Morning, guys. If you appreciate this video, please hit that thumbs up button. I bring you wisdom from people far wiser than myself every morning in order to help you own your journey and fuel your day. So if you aren't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button and let's dive into this. So when we believe that our thoughts are valid, then and if we completely attach our ego or our identity to that thought, then we are putting it, oh, it's 8:45. Man, it's in the morning, it's here. So you're 12 hours, I think you're 12 hours ahead of me. Okay. So we believe that our thoughts to be valid, and if we are completely attaching our ego or identity to these thoughts, then it can be painful when others start feasting on or destroying the thoughts or ideas that we put out there. And that's what I think that Henry was saying here when he says the loving are the daring, because it takes a certain level of daring or braveness in order to put our thoughts out in display or on public display. So it's one thing to parrot the ideas that are accepted by the masses, the groupthink ideas, the things that everybody is already agrees with. If you challenge that, then you're putting your heart and soul on display, because you're challenging an accepted narrative. It's something for others to dissect. And so if we're ego attached to an idea, meaning that idea, it means that our identity is attached to that idea, it feels like we ourselves are being dissected when we're being criticized. And let's dive into that a little bit. So an identity or ego attachment to idea means that core belief or idea that you are sharing in some way defines you. Meaning that if that core belief or idea changes or is taken away, how you perceive the world around you is going to change. That's a core identity belief. And so that's why when we express those and they are torn apart by others, if our ego and our identity is attached to that, we're going to suffer internally, because it's like ourselves are being torn apart. So there is a quote here by Kilroy Oldster, and he says, an ego death involves a merciless destruction of the autobiographical memory system that sustains a person's collective of bodily and mental images. In order to provoke an ego death, one might choose to pare down their sense of self to a bare skeleton divested of all flesh and blood. It might even be useful to visualize a person's own burial and then imagine a rebirth. A person who undergoes an ego death might experience a transformation in their life that duplicates a reincarnation. So there's two different motives that stem behind sharing an idea, and how the motive that drives the sharing of the idea will impact how we take criticism and how we take that idea being dissected. So if we share an idea because we believe everyone else is wrong and they need to see the idea through our eyes, in essence what we're doing there is the motive comes from a place of validation of our thoughts. And so if that is tied to our identity, it means that we're seeking approval of others by sharing our thoughts. And so if that thought or idea is torn apart, suddenly that is our ego, our identity being torn apart. So there's another way, another motive that drives this sharing, and that's that if we share it through the perspective of that there is a perspective in the grand equation of others' perception that needs to be seen, that isn't being seen, and so you're just simply offering a different lens for other people to look through. And from this place, because in this place it's an offering, you're throwing it on the table to either take it or leave it. The idea comes from a place where if it's attacked, our ego or identity is unattached, so we can remain neutral. And so, just real quick, I know that this isn't typically the kind of stuff that I speak about, but Jesus spoke of something where he said to be poor in spirit. And a lot of people took that as like Jesus was condemning having abundance or wealth inside of our life, where there are other people who attach it more to like the Hindu or Buddhist belief of remaining unattached. And so, you know, when it comes to this, if we remain unattached, if we want to grow and we want to expand, we need to remain unattached to the person that we think we are, because that gives us room for growth, room for expansion. If we are tied, if we are attached to the person that we think we are, and we're attached to the ideas that we think we hold, and that makes up our identity, then changing, growing, becoming more, expanding into this world becomes limited because we're held back by that belief, that attachment. And so if we can remain unattached to our identification of self, we will lose that rigidity and we'll be able to transform and evolve. So according to the Bhagavad Gita, the person who succeeds at spiritual living is the one who remains inwardly unattached. So if you want to know where you stand with your ego, put your thoughts out on display, your core beliefs out on display, under fire of criticism, and watch your ego squirm. So if you guys have taken the red pill, if you are ready for the next step, what does that mean? How do you move forward? Grab the PDF that's down below in the description. Otherwise, guys, I will see you on Monday. Peace.